Let's kick off this video by saying Xbox went third party a long time ago. I can't be bothered to search it up. That's journalism, baby. But I'm fairly certain that Gears 4, along with a few other titles like Forza, were part of a lineup of games for a new initiative Microsoft launched called Play Anywhere. Games featuring the Play Anywhere logo meant that if you purchased your game on the Xbox or Windows Store, you would be able to play it on both your Xbox or PC. One purchase, no drawbacks, no hidden fees, no selling your soul to Microsoft. This was one of the most forward-thinking and consumer-friendly moves Microsoft has ever made. And while there were very few Xbox titles on PC before this, the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative was the first real attempt and transition to becoming a third-party developer. Look guys, I've always played everything under the sun, but when it came to Xbox versus PlayStation, I'm an Xbox kid through and through. I had friends throughout my elementary school days who owned an original Xbox, and I would play Halo 1 and 2 with them. It was awesome. I have good memories of that. The first Xbox console I personally owned was the sleek and sexy Xbox 360 Slim. God damn, one of the best console designs to ever exist. I started off with Halo 3 and ODST, and immediately bought Banjo-Kazooie on Xbox Live Arcade. A few months later for Christmas, I got Halo Reach and Call of Duty Black Ops, two of the most memorable and critically acclaimed games to their respective franchises. The Xbox 360 and the 360 era itself was nothing short of magical. Hopping on Xbox right after school, shooting the shit with your friends, and talking about it the next day on the bus, the classroom, or during lunch, it was the absolute best, and it defined the childhood of so many people around the world. Xbox has done so much for so many, and it's why I always had pride in sticking with the underdog. They supported many indie developers through the ID at Xbox program by providing free dev kits and helping to promote up-and-coming games. And let's not forget the Xbox Adaptive Controller that helped many people with disabilities. I mean, my first reaction to that was literally 1, holy shit, and 2, holy shit. I mean, why? The market for that can't possibly be big enough to truly bother with. But they did it. And that's fucking cool. How about backwards compatibility? The 360 provided backwards compatibility with the original Xbox. And while the Xbox One didn't have it at launch, it was eventually added. And out of nowhere, your library expanded tenfold. And not just simply added. Through the Xbox One X, they enhanced many games from both the original Xbox and the 360 with massive improvements to frame rate and resolution. Once again, completely for free. Oh, and most importantly, let's not forget that one time I downloaded the Portal demo and was just straight up given the game for free. That was some real cool shit, Xbox. Thanks. I want to circle back to Microsoft's key business moves and how it affected me as an Xbox fan. When Microsoft launched the Xbox One X, I was ecstatic. I purchased my first monitor and made sure to go for one with 4K resolution to take advantage of the most powerful console ever released at the time. I wanted to experience games in mind-melting 4K. I locked my pre-order in for the Project Scorpio edition at GameStop. I was there at the midnight release. Everything at home was set up and ready to go for a night of pure bliss. Just a matter of plug and play. And by golly, I don't remember any of it. Hey, it was back in November of 2017. I can barely remember what I did last night, let alone over 6 years ago. But I'm positive I loved it back then, because even right now, I remember the One X as being a fucking awesome console. But it had one fatal flaw. It was excellent at running games in 4K, or it was excellent at running games at 60 FPS. Never both. I had a blast playing many games, but it killed me to have to choose between the absolute beauty of 4K or the unbelievable fluidity of 60 frames per second. the Play Anywhere initiative is suddenly much more enticing. Why? Because if you have a powerful enough PC, you don't have to choose between high resolution or high frame rate. You can have both. On top of that, you don't have to pay for the bullshit privilege to play online, which, let's make things clear, Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus is ultimately just a fee to be allowed to use your own internet. Let's not kid ourselves. By the end of 2018, I had enough of choosing between resolution or frame rate. Gaming is the greatest hobby on earth, and I wanted to experience it in the best way possible. At the start of 2019, I got a PC that would have no trouble running every game at 4K 60 FPS, and it was glorious. I replayed Gears 4 and Forza Horizon 3, taking advantage of the Play Anywhere initiative. I didn't have to purchase those games again. I already owned them with my transition to PC. Not long after, the Master Chief Collection was announced to come to PC, but not just PC. They were releasing it on Steam. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer would release this statement. As the creator of Windows, we have a unique responsibility to ensure we're investing in experiences that benefit players everywhere, while respecting the PC community's preference for an open, highly customizable platform. We've not always lived up to our aspirations of keeping gamers at the center of everything we do when it comes to the experiences they've had on Windows. Our intent is to make our Xbox Game Studios PC games available in multiple stores, including our own Microsoft Store on Windows at their launch. We believe you should have a choice in where you buy your PC games. And there it is. Xbox officially went third party back in 2019, not 2024. Every game has been coming to Steam for quite a while now, and I've had no reason to buy an Xbox console. This is a definitive win for me, a win for PC players, and just an overall win for all consumers. This is glory days for everyone. PC players who've never owned an Xbox can try out their new releases. If console players want to take the leap into PC, then they're not left in the dust. They've got games already available thanks to the Play Anywhere initiative. On top of that, Xbox Game Pass is available on PC as well. You're not going to be hurting for what to play. Players now have a choice on where to play their games. If they want to take advantage of the Steam platform and all its features, buy it on Steam. Want to play through Steam but it's a tad too expensive? Hey, no problem at all. There are a number of trusted third-party key sellers such as Greenman Gaming or Fanatical that sell Steam keys for upcoming games at an immediate discount. Yes, you heard me right. On PC, you don't have to pay full price for games, even on release. And with games being more expensive than ever, it's a godsend. You play your PC in your bedroom but your Xbox in your living room? No biggie. With cross saves, there's no hassle with switching between platforms. What about multiplayer games? Gears 5, Halo Infinite? They now have a much larger player base thanks to PC players and cross-platform play. There are over 100 million active users on PlayStation. Let's just pretend for a moment that only a quarter of those are interested in playing Xbox multiplayer games. That's still 25 million players. For those who've been thinking Halo Infinite is dead or sunsetting, imagine it launching on PlayStation and getting an unbelievable healthy boost to the player count. And what exactly is wrong with that? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with a game getting more players. There's nothing wrong with getting to play with more people or getting a chance to go up to your friend who's only ever played on PlayStation and saying, "Hey buddy, this is one of my favorite Xbox games. I'd love for you to give it a shot and play a couple rounds with me." More people enjoying the games you love is a wonderful thing. Let's not forget about Microsoft's cloud streaming service xCloud. With xCloud, you literally do not need an Xbox to play Xbox games. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Any device capable of browsing the internet is able to utilize it. Android devices, Apple devices, the Steam Deck. We're talking phones, tablets, laptops, desktops, smart TVs, even your goddamn fridge.
Ah, damn it. Alright, they got me. 1 second, guys. Let me grab something to drink here. Alright, I'm back in it.
Insane! And you're probably thinking, why the hell would they do that? What's the point? For the longest time, it's never been about getting people to purchase an Xbox console. As a matter of fact, the idea of an Xbox console is outdated, even by Microsoft standards. It's about getting you to join the Xbox ecosystem. Think about it this way. There are millions of players who only ever play Call of Duty on their PlayStation or their PC. Guess who owns Call of Duty now? Guess what logo you're gonna see from now on every time you boot the game up. And every time you purchase a Call of Duty game for your PlayStation, or a weapon skin, a character bundle, a battle pass, guess who gets a cut of that profit? Believe it or not, it's always been about the money. Let's not kid ourselves. From the very beginning, it's been about money. And until the end of time, it will always be about money. Microsoft is a business. They care about the money. The shareholders don't give a shit about anything other than the money. It's not just Microsoft. It's every business. Let's take a look at Sony. When it takes hundreds of millions of dollars and over half a decade to make their games, fuck yeah, they're gonna want to make it back. Are you kidding me? PlayStation has pretty much always been the dominant console, and even they're putting their titles on PC. I bought a PS4 to play Sony's exclusives. I did play a few of them, but the thing ended up gathering dust because I hate using the DualShock controller, and all my games are on Steam, so it's just a pain in the ass to have to deal with the PlayStation. But you better fucking believe I was there day one when Sony dropped Days Gone on PC. That game is fantastic. Deacon St. John is a wonderful character. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. And it was the first game I played on my ultra-wide monitor, and my mind was goddamn blown. Then came Horizon Zero Dawn, the Spider-Man games, freaking God of War, Ratchet & Clank, even The Last of Us is on PC, and it's been implied that their strategy going forward might be to begin simultaneously launching their exclusives on PC the same day as on their console. Oh yeah, PlayStation is a third-party developer just like Xbox, and they have been for a while. Before all of this, PlayStation Now was a streaming service that allowed PlayStation games to be played on PC for the very first time. When I played through Bloodborne with my best friends, they were both able to join me by playing through PlayStation Now, and we had a blast. From what I understand, PlayStation Now has been integrated into the PlayStation Plus Premium, so that option is still there. You don't even need a powerful PC, or even a PlayStation console to play their games. Just a solid internet connection, just like Xbox. Let's be real for a moment. The idea of exclusives is not only an outdated concept, but it's anti-consumer. That's why I despise companies like Epic Games and Meta, because they have a track record of buying studios and locking their games to their respective stores. And don't even get me started on the constant bullshit that Tim Sweeney spouts when it comes to the Epic Games Store. The only real first-party company is Nintendo, and the only reason people seem to give them a pass is because they consistently put out amazing games that don't immediately try to nickel and dime you. Well, for the most part. But lately there's been growing resentment towards the power of Nintendo's console and how it severely affects the quality of their games. If Nintendo decided to put their games on PC, I guarantee you, whatever they put out will break records instantly. Not only instantly, but constantly. The reason I support Xbox as much as I do is because they're constantly making choices that benefit the consumer. Unlike Sony's constant nonsense of getting exclusivity deals or locking crossplay behind large and unnecessary fees. But I'm not here to rag on one company and praise the other. That's the last thing anyone should do. That, in turn, causes complacency and opens up the opportunity to abuse their customers. The reason Sony is constantly pushing the envelope, like raising their prices on their games and services, while providing nothing in return, is because they can. It's because they've always been top dog, and they have one of the most loyal customers compared to any brand that will defend them to their dying breath. With all of that being said, let's flip the table. Xbox has fired nearly 2,000 employees recently, with reports predicting the number to increase all throughout the year. Microsoft is a $3.12 trillion company, and instead of just reorganizing the fundamental structure of their studios, potentially moving employees from one studio to another, or providing training so employees can fulfill new positions, they outright fired them. You can say that they were laid off, but let's stop sucking dicks and call it what it is. Nearly 2,000 people were fired. Explain to me how it makes sense for 343 to announce that they're currently hiring to meet increased productions across multiple Halo projects.
We have a dedicated team working on supporting Halo Infinite and continuing to deliver going forward. But also, yes, we have additional teams now that are accelerating towards the future, working on brand new projects. So I just want to tantalize you with that. So there are a lot of things cooking here. We could not be more excited. As part of that, I also want to give a shout out. We're actually growing the team right now. So if you're passionate about Halo, if you've got skills and you're interested, please keep an eye on the Microsoft career site because we are growing and we've got a lot of exciting things in the works for the future.
And then immediately seeing reports of developers all across Microsoft and their studios being fired. $3.12 trillion. They literally just spent over $75 billion on Activision Blizzard. And suddenly you can't afford employees while at the exact same time saying that you're hiring? And don't even get me started on how well documented it is that Microsoft constantly hires developers on shitty contracts per projects, with no offers for full-time employment. This is the exact reason why Halo Infinite launched in such a terrible state. And what about Sony? Having PlayStation games on Steam has been an absolute dream. Web-slinging through New York felt like an impossibility because of how aggressive Sony has been about their exclusives. I legitimately never thought we would ever see Spider-Man, Kratos, or Sackboy on PC, let alone seeing Xbox controls on screen alongside them. And that's really all I got for Sony. They really don't ever make consumer-friendly decisions. But hey, that's a big one, and I fucking love them for it. Companies going third-party is a good thing. Oh, well, no. Let me rephrase. It's the best thing that could happen. And the best move that you can make as a gamer is to call out companies on their actual bullshit and to support your favorite games being enjoyed by as many people as possible. And the best thing you can do for me is hitting the subscribe button and supporting me on Patreon. Also, sharing it with whoever might share the same sentiment, or maybe someone who might be blindly loyal to a company. We're here because we love games, and we should be excited to share our favorites to those who've never had a chance to try it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.